Okay, let's move on to page by. So page by enables you to choose and display subsets of your report results as separate pages, and it's extremely helpful when you have long reports. So for example, assume that this screenshot over here ran into many quarters. Let's say it's a report that is greater than or equal to the year 2006 to the current year, and you can imagine the number of quarters that are there in that report. So for ease of navigation, for ease of use of the report, you can page by on a specific attribute. So the minute you select the attribute, it sits in that is, you decide to page by, it sits in the page by pane as a little drop down filter on the top. One thing that you require to know is the attribute or the column on which you page by. Once it goes into this page by pane, it's not available in the grid anymore. So for example, you had quarter and you decided to page by on quarter. So quarter goes and sits in the page by pane and it's not visible in the grid anymore. Now, there are various ways in which you can page by. You can select tools, you can, once you enable tools, you have the page by access. And if you select that, it opens up the page by pane. This is the icon for that. Or you can just select a specific attribute and you can drag it to the page by pane. So for example, quarter was dragged. So like how in the previous exercise we saw that to drag something in the report filter pane you need to see a yellow border. Similarly is the case with page by. You drag it over here and you can see quarter being now available in the page by pane. Or you can also right click on an attribute header, and if you right click, so for example on quarter there has been a right click action that's performed, select move to page by axis and it goes and sits in the page by pane. These are all just various ways of doing it. The ultimate result is the same.